Good morning, welcome to my first ever Minecraft tutorial video. Today I'll be showing you how to make this sliding door from my castle in time map. I made this map in under a week and then I showed it on the Minecraft Command subreddit, and someone in the comments by the name of T-Rex361 wanted to know how it was done, so here's how it's done. So the first thing you're going to want to do when building your door is to, well, build the door. I'm going to make a pretty small door here. Let me time set day real quick. So this is my little door. You can make it as big or as small as you want, and you can make it out of any blocks you want. Doesn't really matter. Just keep in mind if it's too big, it might cause a little bit of lag. So now I have my door done. I gotta say, it's a true work of art. But I can't use this door because it's not made out of entities. So how do we make it out of entities, you might ask? This is where a tool called MC Stacker comes in. I didn't actually know about this when building my first door, but it's very useful. The link is in the description. Let's hop right onto that. Here we are on MC Stacker. The first thing we're going to do is click the /summon button. So this will pull up a box that has an entity in it. The entity we need right now is an armor stand, so set this to armor stand. This will add a whole bunch of different options. Under no gravity, set this to true. And we don't need to set silent because armor stands by default don't make any noise, but we do need to set invulnerable to true. Invisible we need to set to true so that people don't see the armor stand. So now we are done with the armor stand. We need to set passengers. So add this passenger with this plus sign right here. This passenger is going to be a shulker. So if you type shulker while having the entity selection pulled up, then it'll pop up on its own. Set no gravity to true. Set silent to true because shulkers by default do make noise. Invulnerable we need to set to true as well. And we need to set no AI to true because we don't want the shulker attacking our player. So we need to set the shulker invisible just like the armor stand, but there's no invisible box, so instead we'll use active effects. So right here where it says active effects, click this S button and it'll show all available effects. Next to invisible, type 1, and under duration, type a 1 followed by 6 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Under show particles, set that to no, and we should be good to go. The shulker is complete, but now we have to have a falling block to disguise the shulker. So we need to add another passenger. Don't click this passenger button right here, because that'll set a passenger for the shulker, and we don't want that. We need another passenger for the armor stand. So up here where this passenger button is, click that again. So set this passenger entity to a falling block. Set no gravity to true. And then the time is very specific. I have the time in the description, just copy and paste that number, and it should be good. Make sure it's negative. It should be negative already in the description, I just didn't copy it right. So for me, I'm making it out of spruce wood, so I'm going to type spruce wood over here, just like the entity. But you might be making it out of any other block. If you are, then just set it to whatever block you're using. So now we have our fake block done. We need to have separate tags for it. So back in Minecraft, I'll show you how we're going to name each of these with tags. So back at our door, we need to name each of, oh, it's already raining. We need to name each of our blocks a separate name, and these are going to be the tags. So to make sure that we're naming it correctly, I'm going to see how my door opens. So the way I want my door to open is like this. So this right side is going to open that way, and the left side is going to open that way. And so I know this block is going to be on the left side, so I'll type L1, and that's going to be its tag. And this is going to be the second block on the left side, so L2, and L3. The same thing is on the right side, so R1, R2, and R3. So now I've got tags for each of these. I have to implement the tags. So I'll hop back onto MC Stacker, and all I have to do now is type the tag for L2 is going to be right here, and it's a spruce block, so down here it says spruce wood, so that's L2 done. I forgot to mention earlier though, make sure these coordinates are set with this tilde, click the tilde, and next to the second tilde type -2. This will make sure that the block appears in the right spot. So now we've got our tag L2 and spruce wood, so just click copy and we'll pop back into Minecraft. And here on Minecraft we're gonna implement the fake block that we made for L2. So just delete L2 and give yourself a command block. So that's /give at s command block. Put it where L2 is and paste the command for L2. So always active and done. I have to mention though, always start from the bottom, because if you try to do it on top of blocks, then the entity won't let you place any more command blocks down. So always go from bottom to top. So now I'm going to do L3. So L3 is going to be a little bit different because it's smooth stone. So back on MC Stacker, see I type L3, but that's not all I have to do for this one because this is a different block. So I have to change this to smooth stone. So I just copy this command and go back onto Minecraft. And of course I break L3, put in the command, and there we go. So now I've got L1 and L2 and L3 done, and now I'll do R3. So back in MC Stacker I'll do that, and I'll just cut to when I've done all of them. So here's my last entity. I've replaced the entire door with entities now, and now I need to work on pushing the entities. So basically the idea is the door needs to be pushed with pushers, which are going to be command blocks, instead of pulled. So from this side, I'll be pushing the right side from the left and the left side from the right. So in order to do that, I'll make a copy of this side over here, and I'm going to dig one block down so that I can push the armor stands, which are one block beneath each entity. You can see their shadow right there. So I'm pushing this block with this block here. Make sure it's lined up. The command we're going to be using to push these are execute as at E type equals armor stand, tag equals, and then whatever tag it is. So with this block, I'm pushing this block, which is going to be R2. At S, so it's pushing itself actually. Run TP, type all three tildes, and based on which way it's going, so this one is going -X, because I'm facing -X when I'm facing the direction that I want it to go. So it's going to be on the X spot, which is the first one, because it goes X, Y, Z. I'm going to put -0.1. So this command is done, except for the limits. So I need to make it dx because it's on the x-axis. If I was on the z-axis, then it would be z. But I'm on the x-axis, so it's dx equals negative because it's going to be a negative amount away from me, and whatever amount of blocks it is. So this goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So right here, 7. And for some reason, the block might not actually be 7. It might be like 6.75. I'll try 7, but it will probably need to be changed later. So change this to a repeating command and always active, and here we go. So you see this is slightly off, I'd say by 0.25 off, so we'll have to change this to 6.75, and this block needs to be recreated. So in order to destroy this entity, you're going to have to type /kill, and then whichever entity you're staring at will appear. You'll have to do this 3 times because each block is made out of 3 entities. And sometimes the armor stand you'll have to point 1 block below because it only has its head in the top block. But overall, should be pretty simple. If you can't see any entity and you've only killed 2 or 1, then it means you'll have to go to spectator mode by pressing F3 plus N, and you'll be able to see all entities that are invisible. So luckily I have the command for the R1 or R2, which I was pushing, already set up, so I'll just resummon that, and let's see, does this line up well? I'd say that lines up pretty well, so that's good. I just copy this command for all of here, except I change it for each block. So there we go, and this should be R3, so repeating. So there we go. This is successfully moved. So make sure these are all set to needs redstone, so that later on we can activate them with redstone. So now that we have the pusher, we need to make a way for it to, well, go back. We can't actually make the pusher for the other one until we have this go back, because it could cause some problems. And also we aren't actually able to place blocks right here, so we can't put the command for pushing this back. But I will make a replica for later, so that I know what I'm doing later. And I'll make a replica here too, so I have a guide. So here we're going to do the same exact thing that we did here, except this time it's going to be pushing that way. So if you want to copy commands, you can crouch, shift, control, and then middle click, and shift, control, middle click for each of your commands. It's one of the most useful things I've ever learned how to do in Minecraft. So these will copy the data of the command. So this command is, yeah, perfectly copied. So because we want to push it towards positive x, we pushed it negative x last time, we're pushing it positive x now. We need to make this positive, so 0.1, just get rid of the negative signs, and you'll be good to go. But these commands aren't done yet, because if we try to activate these commands now, it'll push the blocks like all the way over to here. We only want to push these blocks 2 blocks and not 4 blocks. So what you have to do is subtract the amount of the blocks that you're moving, the total distance that you're moving. So right here I'm moving this 2 blocks and I'm moving this 2 blocks. So subtract 2 from whatever this number is. So 4 and 4 and 4. So if I activate this with redstone, I'll /fill so that I can make sure I'm not accidentally forgetting to make this needs redstone. So I'll /fill this redstone block. Then this should push it all the way over there. This did not push it. Oh, it's because this is already always active. So, and this is also always active, of course. There we go. So now this, it'll push back and push forward. So now we can start making our open and close commands. So for the open side, just put a button somewhere, and we'll have a string of commands that we want to activate. So with redstone and command blocks, I'll have this activating this set of commands. I gotta make sure it's an impulse command. So right here, this set of commands we want activated to fill these with air. So we want to make sure that the blocks that we want to not be affected will be filled with air. So select fill air, and copy that and paste that. Then I'll leave a command block for later when we have the other side being filled. Just blank right there, but we'll have redstone running over it to this repeater, which we'll have for 1 tick, so that we can just have a little bit of a break before filling the opposite side with redstone. So slash fill redstone block, and I'll put this in here. So now if I push a button that's over here, then it'll fill that with redstone and this with air. Now I just have to copy this entire line over here and have this block and this block switched. So now that's setting that to redstone block, and that is... Oh, okay, I'll have to do this again. So this one needs to be this one. Okay, so now that that's all sorted out, we need to set this to air and the other one to redstone. So this is air, and this is redstone. And just like that, we'll have half of our door done. Now the other half is basically just the same as the first half, so just testing out the first half is the most important part. Great, so now we have this side working, we just need to make the other side. So the other side is going to be the exact same thing, except we'll have it moving at a slightly different rate. So let me clear my inventory real quick, and I can... So L1 will obviously be moving back, and we need to make it pushing first. So L1 right here needs to be pushing that way with 6.75 rather than negative 6.75 and 0.1. So if we test that real quick, we'll see if that works. So it looks like it's 1 block too far, so all we'll have to do is kill this, and I'll resummon it in a cut. Oops, I killed myself. Okay, I'll kill this real quick, and then I did it again. You know, I'll just do that off screen and fix this command block. Okay, so I fixed this block. Now I need to fix this command. So it appears that it needs to be 5.75 rather than negative 6.75 or 6.75. So this is L2, and it needs to be positive, and this is L3, and it needs to be positive once again. So so this is this pusher done. Let's test it out. So fits pretty well. So this, okay, so if you ever see this, it means that the block beneath it is a solid block. That just happens sometimes for some weird reason. I don't really know. just don't be alarmed if you see that. It's just a visual glitch, and when you're done with the full door, it shouldn't happen. So this pusher is done. Let's let this puller or pusher for the opposite reason work. So it should be 3.75 because we're subtracting 2, and should be negative, right, because we're going the opposite way. So if I let that work, if I let that work, then it, right, I have to add, it's farther away, I have to, right, yeah, I have to add 2, so this is still 5.75, just the same as this, because I have to add, right, and so if I just, okay, yeah. So, with this pusher done, then it should be, the full build should be complete. I just have to add some, and also make this, yeah. I just have to add this to work. So, now the commands, the pushers, and the entities are all set up. All I have to do is make the fill commands. So, and copy this command and stick it in here for redstone. So if this works, then there we go. The build is complete. I'm going to be trying to post new videos every week. Next week I'm making a TARDIS because a lot of people on Reddit asked me to. If you have any questions about this, then just leave a comment. I'd appreciate it if you liked the video or subscribed. If you liked the video, then like the video. If you didn't like the video, you can pretend that you like the video and like the video anyway. You don't have to like the video to actually just click the button. So that's all. I'll see you next week.